Hello, welcome back to the Walden. I just made a community post about my decision for this game. Basically, I'll only be doing Yu's and Miyabi's route on top of Reika's route. Because this game has too little story and too much porn. That's basically the problem. So my decision is basically I'll do Yu's route and Miyabi's route since I like Reika, Yu, and Miyabi the most out of all the characters, so I just really want to go for those. But that's it. That's all you'll get for this game. See it as an incentive to support the creators of the game and get the game yourself if you want to. But that's the ruling. I'll be putting out a new vote for visual novels to play soon. So yeah, that's what I've decided. Nothing much you can do about that, sadly. Anyway, so yeah, only ones left are Miyabi and Yu, and I've decided to go for Miyabi first, since that's the one I did first between the two, so only fitting that I go for her first. Fuck Emily though. Fuck Emily though. Fuck Emily though. So Miyabi, which is masochism withdrawal symptoms. I'm just gonna be doing this. I should actually open it first. There we go. That's not what I wanted to move. The story thus far. Oh, Miyabi is actually saying all of that.
すごい勢力増強剤が作れたら、それはどれだけの人が幸せになれるか考えたことはないのかい？そんなことを言いながら立派な魔女、かっこ薬剤師を目指してたんだけど、あまりの大雑把っぷりに不安を感じた両親にポンコツ寮に入れられてしまったんだ。
Hold on, I'll just move this up here instead and move this down here. And then just turn it on.
ちょっとショックだったけど、それでもいいやと思ってたら、そこで一緒に暮らすことになった年下の男の子をつい襲っちゃってね。しかも一度じゃなく二度三度ってね。まあでもいろいろと順序はめちゃくちゃになっちゃったんだけど。
Everything is censored, it's fine.
晴れてその子、レンと正式に付き合うことになったんだ。
I wish I could show that since it's the really wholesome one where she's just using his arm as a pillow, but you know, her tits are out.
人生何がきっかけになるかわからないよね。
No, don't.
いわゆる普通とか正しい形じゃなかったかもしれないけど、すごく幸せ。私なりの運命だったって思う。レンにたくさん愛してもらったおかげでね、今までは知らなかった大事なことをたくさん教えてもらえたから。
I need to put a leash on you. Literally.
いや、自分が M だって思い知らされたことじゃなくてね。
I think this is just barely still censored. That was close. Let me just in case, just in case if the text box suddenly decides to vanish.
それは私も自分で意外だったし、あんないじめられて濡れちゃうとか思わなかったし。いや、そういうことじゃなくて、今は真面目な話。好きな人と愛し合うっていうことを教えてもらえたから。それまでは薬剤師になりたい、すごい精力剤を作りたいっていうのは、小さな頃から尊敬する両親の立派な仕事って思ってたのが大きかったんだけど、でもそれだけじゃなくってね、それ以上に大好きな人と愛し合って、その結果に2人の子供を授かるっていうこと、そういう幸せを教えてくれたんだ。だからなおさら そんな幸せのために私は立派な魔女になるって。
My ears are
誰もが愛し愛される幸せを存分に味わえるすっごい精力剤を作りたいって思ったんだ。パパとママにその気持ちを伝えたら初めて応援するって言ってもらえて、本当にレンにはいろんなものを教えてもらったから。あとどんな薬よりも一番の美薬は大好きな人の愛情ってこともかな。
God, this
そんな愛に目覚めた見習い魔女の物語、それからの始まり。
I'll just skip that. Don't make me regret opening up like this. It's probably nothing.
先生、そんな大きなお注射なんてダメ。
Oh, it's actually.
今日のエッチもすっごく良かった。ちょっと先取りだけど、魔女っ子プレイも悪くないね。ね。
You're sure we're quick to start with a pharmacy-themed sex when you got that college recommendation? You know, it only took like maybe a week into being accepted to college for you to suddenly pull out the plays. It's actually kind of strange thinking about it. Anyways, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about being made to play the doctor. Not that I'm mad as much for the purpose of roleplay sex. And in the end, today's session was especially nice. As long as Mel's satisfied, so am I.
じゃあ汗もたくさんかいちゃったし、体中レンの精液だらけになっちゃったから軽くシャワー浴びてくるね。
Even though you'll wind up coding it again right away.
バカ、そんなこと言ったらシャワーなんて浴びる暇なくなっちゃうじゃないか。だったらまた抱いてもらうために体きれいにしてくるね。
She says while covering up her privates with her arms. Mel sidesteps towards the bath. God, you're so cute, Mel. Honestly, I would have been perfectly happy going for another round even if she didn't rinse herself off. But that ladylike concern for her cleanliness is admirable, I admit. I lie back, face up on the bed with what must be a naughty grin on my face. Mel has been ferociously applying herself in school since we started dating. Specifically, she's been working to overcome her general aversion to studying. Eventually, she reached a level where she could just barely earn a recommendation to a demon folk pharmacology school. The recommendation removing the need for the entrance exam, she's earned a brief respite from the blood, sweat, and tears of her studies. Paired with our school summer vacation, this has left her with plenty of time to catch up on her clinical trials. And so we spend most of that period in a constant state of sexy times. Huh? Mel? What are you making that face for?
ちょっとその
Huh? As usual, Mel has trouble getting the words out. But from the looks of it, she's having a dilemma of sorts. What issue could have come up this time?
ちょっと真面目な話いい?
Oh no, it's a period light. Seriously? What about what? Sure, I don't mind. What's up? I say I don't mind, but I can't help but feel a twinge of worry. Bend forward, straightening myself to sit on the edge of the bed. Note, I'm naked, by the way. Not that it exactly matters. Mel doesn't seem fazed by this at any rate. Heart fluttering slightly, I wait patiently for Mel to articulate her point.
今シャワー浴びてて思ったんだけど、
Yeah?
レンとエッチするのにいろいろとお薬を使ってみたりしてるじゃない?
Yeah, pills, lotions, suppositories, all that.
飲んだり塗ったり入れたり。それでね。
Yeah?
どうも薬がなかなか抜けなくなっちゃったみたいで。
Oh no. So what? Permanent as in... like, they're lasting? Body changing?
ぶっちゃけ今もすっごいエッチしたい。
Seriously, we've been at it all day already. I already lost count earlier this morning. Wake up sex, sex after breakfast, just before lunch, and after lunch of course. It's not like any of those sessions were limited to a single shot from me. And that's highly unusual even for me. I'm pretty sure most humans couldn't possibly handle that. But when my adorable girlfriend is begging for it, who am I to say now? Enough about my performance. So basically, you're constantly in heat now or something?
いや、毒性とか依存性とかはない成分のはずなんだけどね。まさかこんなことになっちゃうとは思わなかったよ。まさに魔女の不養生って感じかな。
That's from a Bible verse. Do demons and such use that? I get the impression that Mel has been this way for longer than she lets on. But between the two of us, she's the authority in this kind of problem. I suspect that what we've done so far have only skimmed off the... I suspect what we've done so far may have only skimmed off the top of her libido. Sort of like how some stores reduce prices to compensate for sales tax. I think dependence on your product is a bad trait for a pharmacist to have. There might be a problem with trust between you, your customer, and your co-workers.
魔女が薬中とかまずいって、仕事的にそれはダメでしょ。そんなの家にバレたら応援どころかお説教じゃ済まないって。せっかくもらった大学の推薦とか取り消されちゃうかも。これはやばいよね。どうしよう。
What happened to that casual laugh she forced out a moment ago? I mean, the silly trait of hers is another facet of what makes her cute. And now that I think about it, it occurs to me that her ditzy aspects haven't been addressed at all since we met. In fact, having enabled her experimentation must have allowed her to turn even worse. More lustful, anyway. Which, as a boyfriend, I can appreciate in more ways than one. So, what do you plan to do about it? Do you think you could just tough it out until your system can get over the effects?
エッチが我慢できたら、そもそもこんなことにはなってないね。
Like, you think you can, like, control yourself until the effects have passed. If you thought I could control myself, you wouldn't have had to do me all day. Why do you sound so proud by saying that? I like that smile you wear when you say that. Wow, she can be such a dummy sometimes. So much cuter for it. I get the impression that this is hardly going to be a life-changing thing for her. Can't even see it as being that complex of a problem. Okay, so as a specialist, what would you recommend?
いや、やっぱり一回は薬が抜けきれるまで我慢しないと。
Didn't you just say you couldn't?
それはまあ。でもだよ。愛されて女性ホルモンが出るのは健康的にとってもいいことだし、好きな人に抱いてもらいたいっていうのは薬とか関係なく健全なことだし。
I think on medication is the wrong part.
そもそも別に周りに言わなければただのすごいスケベで済むことかもしれないし。
Want to lose your recommendation? Someone by your family? Lose that dream of creating the ultimate love drug?
ひどい。愛と夢どっちかを選べなんて。
I still adore the teary faces in this game because they just look retarded. It looks like their eyes and they're just fucking.
そんなの私にはできない。
This reaction, just at the prospect of less sex, that's actually super endearing. She sits on the corner of the bed and half curls into a ball.
じゃあさ、レンにメルの体を管理してもらうとか、多分1週間くらい管理してもらえたら、その薬も抜けると思うし。
You sound delighted to propose this.
そりゃ M だもん。レンに管理されちゃうとか濡れるに決まってるじゃないか。
Like, I just really want you to help me with this. You're turned on by this. Of fucking course I am, but that's not the point.
射精管理っていうジャンルがあるでしょ。それの逆だってあるよ。
Is that how you see it? I don't quite get it, but I choose to nod as if I do. Damn, she's irresistible when she's stupidly honest like this. However, I can imagine this would go like I can imagine that this would go like when I bring her to the edge for a while. That might be pretty nice. Oh boy. I don't know how well I'd fill the role, but if that's what you need, I'll gladly take the job. Are you wet now? You okay? I am distraught over the fact that you do not trust me to have that much self-control. However, you are absolutely fucking correct. She's way too into it. I'm not saying I wanted to turn into. I'm not saying I wanted to turn totally kinky. Okay, seriously. Yep, she's a masochist down to the core. It's like a light in her head that you can't turn off. I used to think she was so untouchably cool once upon a time. But this is way better. The best even. She's horny for me after all. She's horny for me all the time! There you go, that's the right one. We're gonna have to set our limits on how we do this first. It'll be less of a struggle if we have to have a goal in sight. You said a week, right? College, family, your dream.
ごめんなさい。頑張ります。じゃあ、禁欲生活の前に、1週間分のエッチダメしよっか。
No, we just spent the whole morning doing that. I need a break.
大丈夫。メルに任せて。いただきます。
The fuck is this censorship? Oh, let me get this up here. Where's that one? Oh, there we go. Now it showed up. I'll just like open up this and this just in case. Hey, Mel! Wait! Don't do that! Ah! Oh! Oh! Ah! And so our schedule is set. Mel will be completely celibate for a whole week, starting tomorrow. Today's still today until dawn breaks and the sun is out! She's going crazy! She's lying sprawled on my bed. With one finger, she's been tracing little spirals on whatever surface is in front of her constantly since this morning. Blame all you want, but I can't give you any. So, and it's only noon of day 1, Mel. Come on.
そんなこと言ったって。夏休み入ってからはお昼までに最低でも3回はエッチしてたもん。急にこんなの寂しいって思うの当たり前だよ。
Hearing her whine is more adorable than grating. Clearly her mind was already primed to crave sex long before the drugs affected her. To simplify, she's a born pervert. Although if Mel said the same about me, I'd probably have trouble denying it myself. Aren't you gonna hold back for a week until the drugs have worn off?
だって、レイのこと好きなんだもん。仕方ないじゃないか。好きな人と同じ部屋で一緒に過ごす休日。そこでエッチしないで他に何をするっていうのさ。
That's a strong impulse there. In the right body, those drugs can really mess with one's personality. Or is it sex? Was she always like this? I don't remember her being so adamant. Is she just having withdrawal symptoms from the meds? Drugs are scary, man. Yet I loved seeing this attitude in her!
レンだってムラムラしないの？もう半日もメルのこと抱いてないんだよ。入りたいでしょ？メルの中に射精したいよね。ねえ。
Stop talking to his dick. Don't start reaching for my crotch saying those things. What happened to acting cute? I peel Mel's arm away from my pants as I admonish her. You know as well as I do that I'd like to do nothing more than sex it up until we can't see straight. And yes, being alone in a room with you does make those thoughts go through my head. But it's exactly because I adore you so much that I have to control myself. Get it? This is a challenge for the both of us, not just you. It's enough fuck. Or not.
でもこの管理されちゃってる言葉の低層体がなんというか
Great! Now we're opening new doors into the masochist world. This fetish runs deeper and wider than I previously thought. Our ability to navigate it is top tier, perhaps. It might be a peerless form of stress resistance in her case. Sit tight, okay? If neither of us can manage that, then what's the point of asking me to help?
はーい、わかったよもう。一緒にいるとムラムラしちゃうから自分の部屋に戻るね。
In that mopey demeanor, Mel slowly shuffles out of my bedroom. I'd see her suffer, but I have to do it. Seeing her so disappointed really makes me feel guilty. Necessary or not, it still hurts to subject her to that. But it's all for her sake. As a boyfriend, it's up to me to be the pillar of strength when she needs one. Yeah? Slap both of my cheeks and steel myself. Still, I can't help worrying. Maybe I should go take a peek to see how she's doing.
なんだよもう例のケチンボちょっとくらい入れちゃえばいいのにさなんだよもうはあオナニーでもするか
I came to check on you because I was worried that this is how I find you!
いやーなんでレンがここに
Need I remind you of what we're trying to accomplish by going through this together? It's like the only thing that's changed about you since you came to this dorm is how you treat your medicines. Not for the better! You wanna know about the dependence on them? What do you say to that, hmm?
別にそれは私が頼んだわけじゃないし
That's not what it's about! Why are you being so defiant? Instead of finding another outlet when I told you no, you snuck back here to masturbate! Explain that!
だってそれはその
Mel has assumed a repentant sitting pose on the bed, and I can tell from her expression that she's aching to find satisfaction somehow. All the pity I felt for her a moment ago has been blown away. Libido is a terrifying force indeed to drive a woman to such lengths.
先っちょもダメ、オナニーもダメ、あれもダメ、これもダメって。じゃあ恋人としての私の立場はどうなるのさ。可愛い可愛いって言いながら散々中に出したのは嘘だったわけ？そんなのひどい、ひどいよ。私のことこんな M っ子に調教しといて。
Girlfriend doesn't exclusively mean here for the sex, you know. It's just for a week, Mel. Remember why we're doing this, don't you?
それはそのはい、すみませんでした。
As usual, it doesn't take much to keep her honest about things. Not trying to scold her and control her here, but if she resists the process this much, it'll cause a variety of problems. Mel's tolerance for libido suppression is simply stretched thin.
じゃあ、チューはチューならしていい？寂しいんだもん。エッチもしたいけど、これだけじゃないもん。
She pleads with her face downcast. I can hear tears ready to fall in her tone. I can't resist much at all against that attitude. No matter how dumb the cause of this situation was. Mel, gently bring her head to my hand to her cheek. That much is obviously fine. I'm still your boyfriend after all. And you know I'm dying to do it with you too. Not to mention I never get tired of fooling around with you in general.
私もエッチだけじゃなくてイチャイチャもしたい。
However, you have to promise me that you can make do with just kissing.
する。チューで我慢。レン大好き。ギュー。
Mel hops up on the bed and I wrap my arms around her. God, I just can't get over how lovely she is. Her smells so nice too. I gotta give it a gentle stroke. Even without sex, contact like this is nice.
じゃあ、いただきます。レン。
Mel. Wait, Mel, not the tongue! Hold! Mel reaches up and grabs my head to keep me from pulling away. Without hesitation, she winds her tongue between my lips. Twisting around, she explores the space between my teeth and gums. I can stop.
レンのチュー、おいしい。もっとチューして。
Mel!
これはエッチじゃないから。チューは恋人のイチャイチャだからね。次はレンの唾液いっぱい飲ませて。
Now the flow reverses. An air gulp down. Still in a state of such surprise, I have no idea how to resist. I just sit there, letting Mel violate my mouth. Okay, Mel, if that's how you want to play. I reach up and mirror Mel's own head grip onto her. This time I force my tongue as deep towards her throat as I can. I know everything you're weak to, Mel. I drive back in and suck on her tender tongue. Using my lips to gently stroke on it. Stop. I do so I could do stop. Just stop. Any attempt at resistance quickly falls by the wayside. I can see Mel's eyelids beginning this classic trance-like droop. Her delicate body starts to shudder in anticipation. She squirms like she wants to get away, but holding on to her and continuing my assault on her mouth is child's play. I feel like you're gonna... Mel. Thought we were just fooling around here. You sure did. There's a point to all this, remember? Wrap my arms around Mel and pull her in close. Press into her mouth again to resume the attack. Ah, there she goes. There she goes. Mel, what did we just agree on? You're fluffing a little right now, aren't you? I don't know why I decided to censor that. It was your idea, and you're breaking your prom. It was your idea, and you're breaking your promise already. Mel collapses on the bed with a wholly satisfied look on her face. There, see that? Got a long way to go before you can outdo me in this! She's just on bed and he's like, now you know what depends on in this relationship. Wait, no, I've been had! This totally went way beyond the level of just making out. Stop sounding so proud of yourself! Look, staying in this room isn't gonna help. Let's try going on a date outside. I worry that this might not work out after all. I pick Mel up from the bed and half carry her to the bathroom to wash up. After a short while, we're dressed and ready to hit the town. 5 minutes? That should be enough to... What? Come twice, maybe? What? The fuck? Huh. It's nothing like... There's nothing like stepping out into the sun on a day like this. Right, Mel? Turn my head to look at Mel, though I have to squint in the glare of the sun.
いや、私はエッチしてる時の方が。レンは、私とのエッチよりも、お日様の下の方が気持ちいいの？
I don't even have a metric for comparing the two.
よかった。レンに褒められちゃった。
She really can't stop talking about sex. She's so focused on the thought that my usual brand of retort doesn't faze her. Quite the affliction indeed. It may be too late to help her if we don't make enough progress before long. For all I know, I may be too late already.
ねえ、腕組んでいい？恋人らしく。いいよね、デートなんだし。
Oh, yeah, of course.
じゃあ、遠慮なく。
We'll waste no time in wrapping your arm around my elbow and squeezing tight.
レンの腕男の子って感じがして好きだな。
Do they? Not exactly ripped, though.
それでもやっぱり女とは違うよ。頼りがいがあって、触ってると安心するっていうか。エッチしたくなるよね。
God fucking damn it. Do you have to murder every mood with talk of sex?
だって、本当なんだもん。
Like she just took the mood out back and shot it in the head.
ギュって胸に当たってるの意識しちゃうと。
Isn't the guy usually supposed to be the one that gets super conscious of it? Mel starts to dreamily press my elbow against the area around her nipple. Whoops. I should probably around her nipple. God fucking damn it. Sweet little moans emanate from her. Like she just does this, not noticing his like, what the fuck are you doing stare he's giving her. And honestly, I'm a fan of how it feels too. So soft yet strangely stimulating. No, I can't. Yes, I want more, but
ねえ、エッチしたくない？しよう？ね。
She's already in full-blown indecent mode, and to be sure, the sight of Mel is incredibly endearing. I might be as far gone as Mel in a way. No, I can't let this happen. Hold fast, I can do this! Clap my cheeks to wake myself up from the reverie. Mel, doesn't us being outside change your mood at all?
だって、レンが部屋であんなエッチなチューするから。こんなの、何回お風呂入ったって意味ないよ。
Well,
レンだって、ムラムラっとした顔してるくせに。メルが気づいてないとでも思ってた？
now even more so. Oh well. I'd have to be more stern with Mel if we're going to accomplish anything. In fact, that's exactly what I need to do. Mel! Suddenly reach up and pull Mel's face close. Leaning sideways slightly, I bring my lips close to her ear as close to her ears as I can without touching them. Did you even hear yourself just now? You must know I couldn't possibly hold back when you do that.
そんな不意打ち、ずるい。
Mel hangs her flustered head and blushes furiously. Her hands white-knuckle grip the hem of her skirt. Looks like my gambit worked. Maybe this will get her to behave.
メルのせいだね。メルのせいで、レンにまで辛い思いさせちゃってるんだね。
Wait, Mel? Her face is still downcast. The arm around my elbow withdraws and her fingers curl to press my skin with their tips instead. When she leans in towards my ear in the same way that... Then she leans in towards my ear in the same way that I just did to her. And with a saccharine, steamy voice...
レンは、メルのわがままに付き合わせちゃってるだけ。だから、メルの中では射精させてあげられないけど、彼女として、口でしてあげるね。
Shit!
覚えてるよね。
Not quite.
前に首輪買ってもらった時に。
Not quite. 34-25. 34-25. 34-25. See you after the sex thing. We back. Go ahead and repeat yourself.
いや、やっぱり恋人の営みはいいね。好きなものをお腹いっぱい食べるのも幸せだけど、我慢を重ねた上で食べる好きなものは格別だね。 乾いてた心に蓮の愛が染み込んでくるっていうのかな。はあ、しかもあんな強引にされちゃったりして。もう蓮も好きなんだから、ぐるぐる。
Mel, radiant in her high spirits, walks by my side, arm wrapped around my elbow again. It's endearing to see her this way, but the fact remains that she couldn't even manage a half day of abstinence. Not that I can complain after failing miserably at stopping her. On the other hand, she actually managed to keep her hands away from my crotch for a whole day. Progress. Let's press on until tomorrow with that optimistic attitude.
今日はとってもいいデートだったね。じゃあ次はどうする？せっかくだし、お部屋デートにする？
Mel looks up at me, licking her lips. Ye gods, she's still hungry for more! Would have thought that such a die-hard masochist would constantly be so thirsty. But I'm fine with that. In fact, it's what it come in my book.
ああ、レン先輩にみやび先輩。相変わらず僕がこのクソ暑い中での勤労中にラブラブでいいですね。死ねばいいのに、主にレン先輩。
What's with this convenience store? Do they only employ rude morons?
ダメですよ、リンちゃん。そんなことばっかり言ったら、せめておこぼれを狙うくらいにしておかなくちゃ。
Okay, I'll become rude.
そうそう。女の嫉妬は怖いってお兄ちゃんにすり込んだ方が建設的よね。あー、でもほんと、私の羽も黒くなっちゃいそうだわ。打点しちゃいそうだわ。
She goes, please not start talking ill of me the instant you see us. I'll and my sister join her in the peanut gallery in front of the peanut gallery in front of the store. Where did my cool level-headed juniors go?
ごめんごめん。ちょっと嬉しいことがあったからさ。ついつい甘えちゃってたんだ。
嬉しいことがあったらしょうがないですよね。僕もゴミ袋交換の時にくっさーってなる生ゴミ入ってなかったら嬉しいですもん。ほんとリンちゃんの幸せはつつましやかだよね。
泣けるわ。ヘミ、そんな底辺バイト絶対に耐えられないわ。あ、でも、お兄ちゃんのゴミ箱から生っぽい匂いしたら期待しちゃうけど。でも、もうそんな妹の楽しみも、みやび先輩に取られちゃったんだけどね。
Shut up, Emmy.
エミちゃん、元気出して。私たちがついてるよ。負け組の私たちが。
Can we stop with the theatrics? I'll start to feel guilty if this keeps up. Though the only one at fault here is my sister. Remember, kids, stealing all this trash is a crime. Oh no, she smells it. She can smell it.
どうしたのリンちゃん。
いえ、また何か生臭い匂いがするなと思って。ああ、イカですね。またしても割と新鮮なイカの匂いがしますよ。みやび先輩、さっきイカっぽいの食べましたよね。みやび先輩から生臭いイカの匂いしますもん。虎の鼻は鋭いんですよ。
Run.
さっきそこで新鮮なイカが売っててね。ねえ。
Hey, on the street near the beach! We can't have you smell like squid out in public, so let's mosey on home, yeah? Right now, let's go home, right now!
そうだね。ちょっと油断しすぎてたよね。じゃあみんな、そういうことで、またね。
Thus they ran off.
あれはやってたね。
してましたね。あはは。やってたって。ああ、イカ釣り。釣りたてのイカって美味しいもんね。
What?
イラ。
まあまあ、これがリンちゃんのいいところですから。
Yep, they totally figured us out. A girlfriend that smells like squid is kinda what? Squid sushi! Eat! At least I assume that's how Shiguru would sing that. Now we're on day 3. We're now on day 3.
エッチしたい。体がうずいて死にそう。
She's lying on my bed again. This time her eyes are wet with wistful tears as she stares helplessly towards the horizon. She's as sorrowful as an injured Olympian when they're told they'll never run again. Almost as if she's resigned to die before the drugs are out of her system.
でも、今日乗り越えたら4日だし、折り返しすぎるし、あと3日我慢すればエッチし放題。頑張れ、私。
Was that the plan for when we're done? Hold on. I guess that fellatio session from day one didn't count then. I feel like we've already lost sight of the point of all this. But hey, she did say the drugs aren't toxic or anything. She should be fine going without them for a week. You know, Mel, you've taught me a whole lot about your field so far.
約束の抜け穴的なエッチ？
No, that's not what I was gonna say.
じゃあいいや。
Mel relaxed as she had suddenly perked up and lifted herself upright with hope. How incredibly transparent of her. Almost to an irritating extent, in fact. Though it's cute in its own way, too. Our strategy failed miserably on day one. And so I've reflected on that to propose a new plan to approach this sex reduction thing.
新しいプラン？いくよー！にゃ！よし、ナイス私！疲れた。ちょっと休憩。
Nice. Hey, nice footwork out there. Need a sports drink? I've got one here.
ありがとう。いただきまーす。
Mel's ponytail flutters with each turn of the head. That is, I like it. I like it a lot. She's very drenched, though. Not in the sexual kind this time. She beams at nobody in particular while she wipes the sweat from her face with a
やっ
towel.
ぱり体を動かすのは気持ちいいね。
Oh yeah, I bet. I agree while wiping the sweat from my own body. It's kind of embarrassing to exercise for the first time in a while with Mel in tow. But despite being a little out of shape, expending all this energy feels great. Grab my own water bottle and have a seat next to
ありが
Mel.
とね、レン。こんな体育館を使える手配までしてくれて。ずっとベッドの中でオナニーしちゃいそうな手を我慢してたり、レンが寝てる間にささっと入れちゃえばバレないんじゃないかって計画したり、そういうことばっかり考えてるより全然健康的だね。
Was that seriously what you spent your time cooking up in there? You had no other thoughts? It wasn't so long ago that Mel was studying like her life depended on it to earn that recommendation. I hadn't imagined that she had turned into such a semen demon. I knew she was a fan of sex, but now I see just how huge of a fan she is. But I do love her, even more so for that. Tama's the one you need to thank, not me. She's the one who had to do all the paperwork to make the space available on the weekend. I don't have the right to do that, even as an assistant dorm manager.
それでも私のためにいろいろと考えてくれたのはレンだから。愛してるよ。本当に大好きだ。
No. Oh, she just can't stop giving me those lovely looks. Now that I think on it, I do recall that Mel has always been naturally athletic. The sex mania is just a side effect of applying her activeness to her feelings for me. No fear, you know I'm weak to that stuff, Mel. Can't help but smile in response. I'm compelled to do more, in fact, but I have to limit myself given the location. If she can appreciate this, at least then I'm happy. That's my honest feelings on this in the moment. You know, I remember you telling me you were good at moving your body before. But seeing you play in person, I realize how cool you look when you do, really.
まあ、いろんな部活の手助けできるくらいはね。この分が少しでも知力に捨て振りされてればよかったんだけど。
So you're concerned about that too, huh? Well, you're plenty charming to me already in both aspects.
嬉しい。レンに褒めてもらえるの大好き。体使うことなら得意だし、最近はかっこ悪いとこばっかだったから、たまにはちょっとくらいいいとこ見せられたならよかった。 エッチの時に上手って褒めてもらえるのも嬉しいし。
Excuse me?
手とか口とか上で動いてる時とか体使うことが得意でよかったなってこと。そっちだってレンが喜んでくれたり褒めてくれるのが嬉しいから頑張っちゃうんだよ。だから最近は体を使うことが得意でよかったって思うんだ。
Not sure that warrants an if you ask me. Come on, can we please keep conversation PG rated for once? Still cute though. Not that I should say so. It would just encourage her.
別に私からエッチな話を振ったわけじゃないでしょ。レンがエッチなことを思い出させたくせに。もう、なんてハニートラップ。
As if I was actually trying to make you think those things. Oh no. Mel has been repeatedly turning every conversation into one about sex. All the effort I do to keep her mind off of those things has gone to waste. And that's a problem on Mel's side, not mine.
いいよ。
What's
レ
okay?
ンがエッチなことを思い出して、ムラムラしちゃったなら、ここでしたいって言われたら、メルは断れないよ。
Mel leans to the side seductively. I'll be bodies like her are a serious turn on for real. The sweaty blush from running around from the court hasn't even left her cheeks yet. And given the topic at hand, her eyes glisten with expectation now. It's also arousing. I suddenly find myself wanting to pursue this topic further. But, dummy. We came out here on this date specifically to avoid that. Weren't you just saying you were so much closer to making it through the week? I lightly poke her head.
なんだよ。それはわかってるけどさ。エッチなことだって健全な年頃だからだもん。ずっと我慢してるの知ってて思い出させられたら、そんなのしたくなっちゃうに決まってるじゃないか。ただでさえレンのエッチな汗の匂いプンプンさせてるくせに。こんな誰も来ないところでこんなの健全どころか生殺しプレイだよ。
Not sure I can logically equate playing sports with edging Mel. Oh, look at that point in defiant glare. I can agree with the part about sweat making someone sexy, though. She proves that herself. Yeah, it really accentuates her thighs and the occasional side book glimpses, I say. Is that supposed to be boob? And not so long ago, I had my hands all over both of those areas. But I definitely shouldn't indulge in that today. Great, now I'm getting antsy.
遠慮なく見すぎ。そんな目で見られたらゾクゾクしてきちゃう。
What? No! Sorry. Mel wraps her arms around herself tightly. Her supple skin closes in slightly around her fingers, gripping her arms. And her thighs are rubbing together in a vain attempt to contain herself.
なんか運動して逆に薬が回っちゃったみたいで、発散のつもりが逆に体が熱くなってきちゃった。
Wait, really? You're not kidding?
そういう可能性もなくはないと思うけど、ちょっとだけ横になって休めば大丈夫かも。
I don't think lying down will solve much. Why don't we go home and you can rest in your bed?
そこまでのことじゃないし、今日は誰もここ来ないんだよね。
Right, Thomas said nobody else is scheduled to use the gym.
だったら、さ、中にちょっと横になれる場所あるから。来て。
Just to be clear, you mean? Right, Mel! You don't have to pull so hard, I can walk with you on my own! Mel leads me by the arm to a far corner of the gym. That is a lot of floor, by God, that is... Jesus Christ. you could probably fill a fucking cup with that. See you after the sex scene. They're done. I can't take any more. System gonna die. Eventually, Mel finally releases me from the storage closet. I didn't know that was happening. The sky has already changed to its evening colors above us. Ah, what a beautiful evening view of the sun. I feel like I might evaporate on the spot.
ちょっとやりすぎちゃったね。でも、女性ホルモンってほんとすっごいな。お肌が一気にツヤツヤだわ。
It is very shiny, yes.
新しいテクニックも覚えちゃったし、エッチの解禁日が待ち遠しいな。ねえ、レン。レンもあんなにビュービューしちゃって気持ちよかったでしょ
Ah, this little smug little shit. Yeah. Definitely. What sex ban? Hardly anything has changed. I don't think forcing a masochist to suppress her libido could drive her this far. I'm not even sure if it was that pleasant for me. It was practically more like getting milked violently than sex. This might be a little too philosophical for my liking. But I'm still floating on post-climax cloud of clarity, so my mind automatically drifts to such thoughts.
ごめんね。我慢できない彼女で。でも、誤解しないでね。いくらエッチがしたくても、それは、レンのことが好きだからこそだからね。好きな人じゃなきゃ、欲しいなんてほんの少しも思わないから。
No.
大好きだよ、レン。この世界でレンのことだけ、愛してる。
God, what an adorable smile. Could I ever get mad at that? Is this what they mean when they say love makes you weak? I don't care, I'm happy. Too happy to care about the little stuff.
さーてと、お腹も空いたし帰ろっか。
Good idea. Let's see. Haven't had your magistrone in a while. Wanna make that?
リクエストかい？嬉しいね。じゃあ晩ご飯はメルにお任せくださいませ。ご主人様。
Looking forward to that.
はーい、任されました。
Our hands naturally find their way into each other. The sun at our backs casts a long M-shaped shadow on the sidewalk ahead of us. How fitting. And we make a turn towards the market street to buy the ingredients for dinner. You say, I've met enough for seconds and thirds. Uh-huh.
で、レンちゃん、薬中彼女の回復は順調なのですか？
It's not going at all.
タマがせっかく体育館を使える手配をしてあげたのに、なんたるざまなのですか？どうせ誰もいない体育館でエロエロなことでもしていたのでしょ？
Come here, Pochi! Shake!
マジでやってるとは思わなかったのですよ。そんなことでごまかせると思ってるんじゃないのですよ、この腐れちっぽが。
Come on, she was like a force of nature. I couldn't hold her back. I don't have much else to say to defend myself. I affirmed her worst suspicions to the letter. Boy, it sure was lucky that nobody came and found us.
ほんと最近は家事も仕事も売っちゃって、イチャコラしてからに。これだからリア充ってやつはとか言われるのですよ。
As if that has any negative effect on you, Tama.
はぁ？何一人で受けてんですか、このどぐされ性知能が。
Semen fungus!
ここにいる女はみやびちゃん以外全員関係ないのですよ。タマだけじゃないのです。
Yes, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Why drag the other girls into this selfish mess? Should avoid an argument before she makes it worse. Dealing with antisocial women like her is such a pain for those of us with girlfriends. Stop. But noblesse oblige requires me to take care of her to some degree.
働かない領間補佐のために仕方ないので新たな戦力を導入したのですよ。
Wait, what? Is someone else moving in? That sounds, expensive. Somehow get the impression that bringing in one or more of those would make the whole housekeeping affair even more complicated, not less. I should have expected Tama to treat that as a solution. But hey, if she wants to spend her own money on that, I won't fuss about it. I'd like to see what kind of Roomba could substitute for me, if any.
ルバが炊事洗濯までやってくれりゃもっと楽なのですがね。夏休み入ってからというもの、レンちゃんがご飯を作らないですしね。もうお菓子もコンビニ弁当もデリピザも食べ飽きたのですよ。
支配クーポンが使い切れん。正直飽きた。
You've been eating pizza too? Tama's such a total slob. Everyone else here has been so proactive in attending to their own needs. And then there's this woman. And going back to the Roomba thing, since when was laundry my job? That's each individual's responsibility. Okay, fine, I'll start making food again. But, about the Roomba? I don't know what one of those can actually do.
そこでキリキリ働いてるのでしょ。文句の一つもなく壊れるまで働てかついさっきまでそこらへん文句の一つもなく壊れるまで働かずして何のためのお掃除ロボットなのですか。
No.
てかついさっきまでそこらへんにいないのですね。あんれ
What's up, Pochi? What'd you find? I look to where Pochi's barks are coming from. The door leading to the bedrooms is wide open. There's the door leading to the walkway. The one open to the elements at the ocean.
脱走なのです。脱走したのですよ。海にダイブでもしたらやばいのです。タマの給料から天引かれるのですよ。命に変えても引っ取られるのですよ。
Around the same time in Miyabi's room.
いやー、昨日のエッチは良かったな。やっぱり久しぶりだと燃えるし燃えるよね。環境設定だね。
She is,
メッセージの設
letting herself
定。
go there.
いじめられるのもいいんだけど、あんな風にレンのことを犯しちゃうのもいいっていうか、こう、我慢させられてるっていうのが逆にスパイスっていうの？やっぱじらしプレイも大事ってことだね。ねえ、しげる。
天使なように、
He sounds very different.
あー、でもケサランパサランにはわからないかな。毛玉だもんな。しょうがないよね、そういうのは。まあまあ、リラックスしてたまにはお菓子でも食べなさいな。
賢いね。
しげる、世は満足じゃ。やっぱり愛のあるエッチは世界を救うよ。ポリポリポリ。私の志した夢はめちゃくちゃ素晴らしいよ。さすが私だよ。むひょむひょむひょ。でも、毎日するのは毎日するのでいいんだよね。仮に性依存症だとしてもさ、レンはこんな私を受け入れてくれるわけじゃん。むしろそれって幸せなことじゃない？エッチ三昧で心も体も超満足だし。はあ、これってのろけ？もしかしておのろけなのかな？ポリポリポリ。
悩み無用。
あ、しげるってば人の話全く聞いてないな。ペットのくせにそういうの良くないぞ。良くない。愛の歌をたまに歌うくらいなんだから、ちょっとくらいそういう心の機微だね。
さらば。
Oh, poor Shigeru!
しげる？しげる、しっかりして死んじゃダメだ。諦めるな。諦めたらそこでパサラン星が終わっちゃうよ。返事をして意識をしっかりと保つんだ、しげる。
我が生涯に一片の悔いなし。
こんなお別れは嫌。しげる。おお、ウルトラを追ってきてみれば。 まさかこんな惨劇に出くわしてしまうことになるとは。これメリケンだったら訴訟ものなんじゃないのですか？
I know people might not be that into a show where the romantic lead character is in love with a living dust bunny. At any rate, this is the last thing I expected to happen. Who would have thought a Roomba would prey on Shigeru? Usually he floats in midair anyway. I don't think I've ever seen him touch the ground before, in fact.
とりあえず、起きてしまったものは仕方ないのですよ。レンちゃん、ルッパのダストボックスを見てみてくださいなのです。タマはシゲルちゃんだったものを見るのは心が痛くてキモそうなので嫌なのです。
Come on, you know I don't want to see that either! Go on, what if I told you I wanted to wish this away?
目にしててくる。
おお、ゴメちゃんが初めて願いを聞き入れたのですよ。これでまた一匹ポンコツが減ったのです。タマの功績なのですよ。
You didn't cure anything, you just removed one from the equation entirely. Tama's standards for success are depressingly low. As if it would let them do that in the first place.
シゲル、ありがとう。今まで本当に。シゲルとの思い出は、あんまりこれと言ってないけど、でも私、シゲルがいたことは決して。
コーヒー。ルンパ。
シゲル
コーヒー。ルンパ。
シゲル、生きてた
He
よ
has
ね。
become the Roomba.
よかったよ。
おお、ルッパが歌ってるのですよ。
No, he's just not dead. I'm glad.
中にいるのなら鉛筆の粉を吸い込ませればここで生きていくのではないのですか？
歌うロバか。金の匂いがする。
Roomba who curses when it bumps into things. It's Michael Reeves. Yeah, no, let's get him out of there. Can't believe those fools care so little for Shigeru's well-being.
仮に生存症だとしてもさ、ではこんな私を受け入れてくれるわけじゃん。むしろそれって幸せなことじゃない？エッチ三昧で心も体も超満足だし。
シゲルのバカ！死んじゃえ！おバカ！海に投げるなら本体だけにするのですよ！ルッはいくらすると思って！
飛んで飛んで飛んで。
So the Roomba ascends to heaven the same day it arrived. And Tama is out a considerable chunk of her salary for the month. How about putting on a wig and singing? It doesn't smell like money. Celibacy Week, Day 6.
それでね、今日は実家のママと電話してたんだけどね。あ、それとね、あと。
Oh wow, it's already 11 o'clock. So says the clock on my phone's lock screen. Time really flies when we talk, huh?
もうそんな時間か。エッチがない今だからこそ、もっとお話ししてたいのにな。
Don't make those sad puppy dog eyes at me. The week will be over at the end of tomorrow, right? Just 25 more hours and you're free.
そうなんだけど。
Apparently all the times we broke the rule don't count. Yeah, the chances are high of that happening if we try for a do-over. Mel agrees with me with this, on this, I'm probably right.
長いな。あと1日長いな。夜一緒に寝れないのも寂しいよ。
That was your idea, though. We agreed that we wouldn't be able to control ourselves if we shared a bed.
それはそうなんだけどさ。それでも寂しいものは寂しいよ。レンは寂しくないの？
Oops. I reached out and brushed my hand against her cheek. Her skin is so soft and smooth to the touch. It's not that I'm not lonely, far from it. I just care about you enough to remind myself that this is for your sake. I don't know much about medicine, I'll admit. But if you say we need to take a week off of sex, I trust your judgment. It's the least I can do, isn't it? Plus, remember what you told me? You know about denying sex, making it better later? I bring up the embarrassing moment of after Shigeru's traumatic experience earlier to tease her. Run my fingers through her silky hair.
バカ。でも、ありがとう。嬉しいよ。
So we have to do our best to make sure this works, right? Besides, isn't it good for our health if we're early to bed, early to rise?
そうだね。
What's
そ
wrong?
の、今こんな話した直後なんだけど、いや、こんな話した直後だからなんだけど、さ、
You tell me.
やっぱり一緒に寝てもいい？確かに明日が終わればなんだけどね。でも、レンが大事って言ってくれて、すごく一緒に寝たくなっちゃって。ダメ？
No. Ah, you're so damn cute! Jeez! The barbers are supposed to open up again by next month. Oh, you're the most adorable thing ever!
もう、びっくりさせないでよ。これこれこれ。なでなでされるの嬉しい。
What a ridiculous attitude to take for this request. Can't possibly turn it down when she's desperate, explosively cute. She pulls at my heartstrings down to the root when she makes that face at me. And I don't like that way, to be honest. Seriously. I'd want to be too hard to keep yourself from wanting sex. Not that we have a good track record of keeping ourselves off of each other for this week anyway. We've been using sleep itself as part of our crutches to keep us from doing it. Sleeping together would definitely sabotage that, right?
うん。だからちょっと考えたんだ。私の種族を言ってごらん。
A witch?
今、微妙にすぐに出てこなかったのが気になるけど、まあいいや。そう、私は魔女。薬を司る一族なわけ。だから、こんなのも持ってるんだ。
Mel pulls something from her pocket. She extends her palm to show me a small unassuming capsule. What does it do?
睡眠薬。これですぐ寝ちゃえば、エッチしたくてもできないから大丈夫。これならいいでしょ？どうかな？
Quite the brute force solution, isn't it? I've no doubt that her drug-making skills are up to par enough to make this. If it means I get to share a bed with her again, I'm on board. Wait, what's the point of sleeping together if you immediately conk out? I mean, I'll be glad to do it in either case, but I don't think there's a point if you use that.
違うよ！全然あるよ！寝るときと起きたときにすぐそばにいるのがいいんじゃないか。ああ、もう分かってないな。
I hope she's angry. At least she's being forthcoming about it. It's a cute thing to watch. The best girlfriend on the planet for sure. For real. Okay, I'll wait here then. Go ahead and get ready for bed.
急いで準備してくるね。
Justice is justice! I might be too soft on her. If that's a crime, then brand me a criminal, I can't help it. With enough time, things to practice self-control for the moment anyway. I have enough things to practice self-control for the moment, at the moment anyway. And I know well why Mel feels the need to do this. Just one more day and we're home free. Take a moment to straighten the bed sheets. I'm starting to feel slightly giddy. I'm getting antsy waiting for her to return.
やっぱりこういうのもいいね。
環境設定だよ。
That's not the one I wanted to move. That's the one I wanted to move. Anyways, so 1940. 1940. 1940.
エッチするわけじゃないのに裸で添い寝ってすごく贅沢。最近はレンの肌のぬくもりが少し遠くなっちゃってたからかもだけど、でもおかげでそのありがたみを再確認しちゃうよね。
I like feeling it. Like feeling it in your heart, not just on your skin.
うん、そんな感じかも。
She buries her face in my chest. What a cute giggle. Is this enough to make you happy then?
そりゃあエッチしたいけど、そんなこと聞かなくても分かってるくせに。早くレンにいっぱいいじめてもらいたいな。
She fidgets under the covers. What a naughty line. Can't suppress a smile. You're such a masochist, Mel.
私をこんな風にしたのは自分のくせに。
She heaves a sigh of resignation. I don't like how holding myself back puts Mel into this wistful mood. Only one more day to go, but tolerating this will still be a torture. I hold Mel's head against my chest with my arm. Hey, Mel. You told me that the drugs you've taken aren't addictive or toxic, right?
ない。それは断言できるよ。
What exactly did you mean when you said you can't get them out of your system?
それがわからないんだよね。体に残るようなものじゃないはずだから。
So they just turned...
そんな感じ。
So they just turned. That's all that said. Wouldn't that just mean you're just hypersexual?
最近は自分でもエッチな方なんじゃないかと思うけど、でも前よりもそれが全然強く感じるから。なんなんだろうな。
She heaves another sigh, this time of exasperation. I could tell this issue frustrates her. She's not getting the results she was aiming for, though my failure to keep her under control is also to blame. But hey, that really isn't any bad permanent effect on your body, and if restraining yourself is really grating at your nerves so badly, I don't think there's any benefit to forcing yourself to hold back. What do you think?
それって
I mean, think of it like dieting. Restricting your food intake to the point of causing stress is unhealthy, right? Disrupting your own personality for the sake of withholding sex from yourself, maybe even leading to depression. I, as your lover, would never forgive myself for letting that happen. So, I love having sex with you, too. I'm more than capable of holding back if you're not well. But I have to admit, I really feel like it when your sex drive is as strong as it is now. I don't think it's really a problem if we just exercise some moderation rather than complete abstinence. I know I'm not an expert, but that's just how I see it. I brush Mel's bangs aside with a finger.
ありがとう。そう言ってくれて嬉しいよ。もしかしたら精神的なものなのかもしれないね。前にちょっと話をした性依存症みたいな。
Mean when we established that you're an absolute sex fiend?
私がとんでもないスケベって断定されちゃったやつ。
She chuckles to herself softly. Yep, that's the expression I like to see on her the most. I'm happy that she can still smile like that. On compulsion, I wrap my arms around her again and pull her close.
そろそろ眠剤の効果が出てくるから寝ちゃうかもだけどさ、大好きなレンだったら、私が寝てる間にメルの体、おもちゃみたいに使ってもいいよ。
Toy with your body? That's completely ridiculous. I did seriously consider it for an instant, though. I'd do my best to hide that fact, though.
私は本気だよ。彼女としてレンのこと欲求不満にさせてるのは嫌だし。だったら私が気がつかない間に抱かれててもいいって思うもん。
I'll be completely honest, I've already looked up all the animated scenes for this game. So I know what the animated scene is for her. So I can just imagine, like, I guess she falls asleep, and the next morning she wakes up at the start of the animated scene, which, by the way, will have her handcuffed. Again, this happens a lot. She smiles at me again, utterly sincere. Can't believe those words just came out of her mouth. I don't know if I would call this honesty or frankness. I bend over and kiss her forehead. It's so outlandish that I refuse to acknowledge it. I'm supposed to be abstinent too, remember?
だからこそ言ってるんだよ。レンが私のために我慢してくれてるの知ってるから。愛してくれてなかったら、物みたいに扱われてもいいなんて思わないよ。だから何されても愛してもらえてるからって思って喜んじゃうんだ。M っていうのは愛されてるってわかるから何でも受け入れちゃうってことだと思うんだ。
Her eyes glitter with calm confidence. She bends her neck back to kiss my forehead this time. And she bends the other direction to rub her cheek. Then she bends the other direction to rub her cheek into my arm. You say the most endearing things sometimes, you know that? Hit.
ただの素直な気持ちだよ。
No. Bring my lips to meet hers.
レン、大好きだ。
Love you too, Mel. We break off the kiss one moment. We break off the kiss for a second. Well, all the while, the skin of our bodies are sliding against each other. We indulge in the sensation of shared body heat. And within a short moment, all the strength in Mel's body has faded away. Her head and shoulder lean against me. Just light enough to be comfortable for me. The sleeping pill sure did its job. I'm honestly surprised at how effective it was. I must have been struggling to stay conscious for that kiss. My heart squeezes inward when I think of how hard she had tried to prolong it. I'm sure she had been planning for this, of course. For this, we've secured one more night of successful abstinence. I guess I'll sleep too. Good night, Mel. Put one more light kiss on Mel's cheek. Then I roll onto my back and close my eyes. I still have a bad feeling about this. I can't sleep. For some reason I feel wide awake. Fuck it. I hardly feel any drowsiness at all. Little else to do, I reach back over to Mel and gently stroke her cheeks. Okay, I'm putting this up again. Because the CG came up again. Her cheeks are so wonderfully soft. I feel like it's been quite a while since I had the chance to study her sleeping face. That's a perfect opportunity to take in those features one at a time again. I'm turning down the fucking sound, boy.
サウンドの設定だよ。
Shut waves. I think of all the different expressions I've seen this face make country to the cool, collected image I once had of her. This is time well spent in my book. Certainly not a waste of time, at least. Mindlessly continue stroking your cheek. My sweet, defenseless Mel's cheek. Not being able to do this for a whole week really was awful. I've been desperate to touch Mel this way. Having a girlfriend I can do this to is the happiest thing in the world. I lightly press my finger to Mel's pillowy lips. So perfectly well shaped, they're soft, but not in the way her cheeks are. They don't stretch or resist, but simply give way until they bounce back. It's almost like I'm not touching skin anymore. I'm gonna turn it on now. If you were to toy with my sleeping body, I wouldn't mind. Those words come back to taunt me. No. I can't have these thoughts. Can't be so selfish. Only a monster would dare think of taking advantage of a sleeping girl's body. I'm not one of those. Should have asked her to make me one of those pills too. Not sure how else to compose myself. Not sure how else to compose myself or reach out to continue stroking her face. Now that I'm more aware, her sleeping face has some erotic charm to it too. I'm equal parts horny and curious. Logic and reason are failing me. Maybe just fondling her boobs will be okay. I asked nobody in particular. No response would come. If anyone, I'm asking myself. I rolled towards Mel to fully face her. A cup of breasts in my hand. With the weight of my palm, I start fondling them gently, apparently. They feel nice and soft. Oh no, it's actually gonna move enough. No, that's the wrong one. Actually turn that on as well, and fuck, it's on. It was on there. I have to censor it. 2035. 1:20:35. I'm just gonna keep it like this since this is just me reading out stuff. 1:20:35. They feel nice and soft. No reaction, of course. But they're so soft and divine! Really won't wake up, will you? Stop putting forth more effort in molding and playing with Mel. They mold into my palms like clay. Feel something slightly firm poking into my palms. That's right. Smells nipples hardening lusciously. So you can still get turned on in your sleep then. Nipples stick straight out now. What an interesting contrast to softness around them, I think to myself.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
I'll stop. Maybe a little more. I'm in the mood for mischief now. I cover boobs with my hands again. Don't! And that almost showed a nipple at the top again. I start reshaping them with both my palms and fingers. I think it's my index fingers and thumbs rolling. Yep. This is the way she loves it to have it done at any other time. And as I expect, it makes her. Yep. Face doesn't budge at all, but the rest of her body is getting into it. You can tell that her body is starting to crave it, whether she's aware of it or not. Damn, but this is so hot. Here I am, teasing Mel in her sleep. Playing with her is getting me in the mood. Hang on. Didn't even know it was possible for her nipples to get this hard. How about down there? Turn back to go down the... I can't turn back if I go down this road. I can't help it. I'm already rock hard myself. And I know I'm going down the path of no return, but I'm sorry, Mel. I grab the edge of the covers and throw them back. Oh. He's wet. I'm just gonna assume this is sex scene already and just start skipping. Yep. He did her. He did her. And he did. And he took a photo.
中からいっぱい溢れてくるんだからバレるに決まってるでしょうが
I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I deserve no forgiveness! You're just so cute when you're asleep, I couldn't help myself! We woke up only a moment ago, and the first thing I'm doing today is prostrating myself in front of Mel and apologizing profusely. I'm 200% in the wrong here. I have no room to talk back.
もうそういえば何でもごまかせると思って
So she's naked, so I'm keeping this up.
うわせっかくのエッチだったのに記憶がないとかほんと深くすぎて中から垂れて
Yeah, I can see why not remembering would suck. I did have her permission though. But my inability to control myself remains a separate problem. Girls are a mystery, man. Especially the one I'm dating.
でその撮った写メっていうの見せて
Okay. This. I opened the picture on my phone and handed it over.
こんなのこんなにこっくり
Her face turns beet red. She swipes left and right, zooms in, thoroughly inspects every pixel. She sure does have sex on the brain. I'm glad that's no different. I watch her with contentment as she peruses the proof of what we I did.
まあ、やっちゃったもんはしょうがないってことで、それ、送ってくれたら許す。
Listen. Always forgive me if you send me these. These are amazing. Sorry, what?
あ、でもレンのは消さなきゃダメ。許さない。
You mean? But these are my precious memories of you. I'm not showing them to anyone, obviously. They're for my personal use. Why should I have to delete them?
それが問題なの。そんなのでオナニーするくらいならメルに出せばいいじゃん。私がレンに誘われて断ったことある？ないでしょ？
That's true. In fact, the overwhelming majority of our sex sessions are started by her. I really never had to do it myself. It would be wiser not to point that out right now. Okay, then why do you want them? If you don't want me using them, why not just delete them altogether?
うん、それはなんていうか、記念っていうか
Commemorate? You're gonna use them to diddle yourself, aren't you?
聞く。違うよ。記念だってば。あれだよ、あれ。初めてのラブラブ睡眠館記念。
How does that not sound weird to you? Who keeps a souvenir of that?
うるさい。レンが悪いんだから、私はいいの。レンは昨日一人で楽しんだんでしょ？睡眠館を。これ、1回や2回じゃないよね。最低でも3回は中出してるよね。
Yes, you're right, I'm sorry. Wow, she even figured out how many times I did it. I'm utterly speechless. All that close-up inspection of those pictures wasn't just for show. I obey a command and delete them after I give her a copy. Damn it, I want to burn that image into my retinas. I've never regretted anything more in my life. I should have saved a backup on my cloud. But even if those are gone, but I can always take new ones.
また取ればいいって。そんな反省のないこと言って、そんなこと言われたら、濡れちゃうじゃないか。バカ。
Mel!
うわあ！挿入もしてくれないくせに押し倒すな！変のバカ！エッチ！鬼畜彼氏！
One more day until the ban on sex is lifted. Maya and I spent the entire day fooling around just short of crossing that line. I suppose printing this at the shop would be out of the question. There are less than 2 hours left until the sex ban is lifted.
で、みやび先輩は大丈夫なの？
治療は順調？
It's not really going at all.
まあ、人がせっかく心配してたのに、いろいろ結局いろいろなことしちゃってるってわけですか？
飯馬ざまーとか思ってたのに、かけらも同情の余地がない。おこ。
I'm getting deja vu. Haven't I heard more or less the same thing, same kind of thing from Tama? They're not quite using the same level of verbal abuse, but I can tell that they want to. Such just the life of a man surrounded by single women. Forgive me for getting a life before you.
まあ、レン君って、実は流されやすいたちだしね。
レンに管理されちゃうんだって、ハーハーしてたみやび先輩は何だったのか。
Did you actually phrase it that way? They're starting to push my buttons now. And I know they don't actually mean anything by it, but still.
ほんと彼氏として不甲斐ないっていうか？そんなに溜まって我慢できないなら、幼馴染の私に相談すれば、解消してあげるのに。
I mean, at this point, we know that Miyabi, while she would be sad about it, would probably not break up with him, but still, no.
10年以上一緒にいても処女のままだったくせに笑わせる。クラスメートの私の方が新鮮味があっていいと思う。なんなの
それ！幼馴染は負けフラグって言いたいの？
実際に負けたでしょ？
うんぎゃー！ ゆうちゃんだって負けたくせに、この無駄おっぱい
You useless pilot tits.
クズの根も出ない。役立たずの無駄っぱいだった。
幼馴染 VS おっぱいの戦いか。業が深い。
They do give a sort of a cage match impression, don't they? Komi and I watched the action from a safe distance. Nothing good will come of stepping between those two. I don't need their attention anyway. I have Mel.
そもそも、どうしてみやび先輩はそんなになっちゃったの？
Drugs.
エッチに依存しすぎて禁欲生活とか、割と尋常じゃない。
Well, I don't know how to start that. She took too many libido and stimulants and turned into a sex fiend. Obviously, that's not an answer I can afford to give. The management part is fine, though. All's fair has everything to do with me and Mel being able to police ourselves. Though in my case, my lack of self-control can't be blamed on substance abuse. Or is that true of Mel as well? None of that stuff she's ingested is dangerous in that way. The root cause of this does appear to be just her unstoppable sex drive. Don't know what else goes through her mind regarding this. It's beyond me. Huh.
レン君のテクって、そんな麻薬みたいにヤバいの？
正直、そこまで言われると興味ないこともない。先っちょだけならノーカン。
そうなの？そんなルール知らなかったよ。はい、じゃあ私も先っちょ希望。
Please refrain from saying such stupid things! I'm not in the mood for raunchy comedy. Not to say that their propositions don't carry some weight. In other situations, I'd fall for their charms enough to try
で
it.
もみやび先輩、魔界の薬科大学に進学なんでしょ？このままだとやばい。確実にやばい。大
What
学
doesn't?
プラスサークルプラス欲求不満かけるお薬大学。
そんなエロ漫画的な展開に。
I just noticed her fucking expression.
先輩、みやび先輩がそんなの？
そして NTR で昇進のトラウマがレンをインポに。
I'm going to fucking shoot you, you.
そんなのダメー。そんな昇進のレン君、濡れちゃう。
You do sound like you relished the thought of that happening. I not to be afraid of that. The college she chose is a women's school. Besides, she may have sex on the brain, but I know she's laser focused on me. She wouldn't even dream of cheating on me. In fact, I suspect Mel will be the one to suspect me of infidelity when we're apart, not the other way around. This is what it feels like to bask in victory! I'm surprised you have it in you to talk about these things now, Lydia. Having known you for so long, I'm kinda proud.
別にエロ漫画的展開とか言っちゃったけど、読んでないよ。読んでないからね。タマちゃんが快楽天の術使うから、それでたまに見えちゃうだけ。本当に。
Yeah, bullshit.
こないだタマちゃんの部屋からこっそり盗んでたの見たけど。
悪い？こっちとらやりまくりのレン君と違って自家発電で大変なの。何？それが何か悪いの？私がオナニーしててレン君に何か迷惑かけましたか？
おお、まさかの逆ギレ。
Was I meant to hear that? Lydia has her own struggles, I see. But even if she tells me she has to work out her urges on her own, I have nothing to do with that. I wish you the best, childhood friend.
何よアザラシ。セルフサービスのサキバスがそんなに滑稽？笑いたければ笑えばいいじゃない。このマラマユ。
She is very angry!
いいなど水族館のイルカでもするやつはする。
I did not want to know that.
とりあえず得意の字でもして落ち着いたらどうで？
おろすよ。今からこのアザラシ3枚におろす
She
よ。
is very angry!
大将はお茶の間に放送できぬ。証拠の無駄おっぱいを無駄おっぱい同士で中和するがいい。
リリア、叩きにしよう、叩き。お頭付きで豪華に息作りがいい。
所詮はおっぱいのか。
It's for brains.
我も年貢の納め時、是非もなし。
ゆうちゃん、ちょっとそっち持って万歳ってさせといて。
とは言っても手が短すぎ、尾びれで吊るした方が早そう。
もうちょっと優しく。
Well, this sounds like a good time to scram. Put my hands together in a rest in peace gesture and make towards the exit. At the very least, I should make myself scarce in the living room. I quickly glance back at Gomez's snow white head before I close the door. That concludes the pre-dismemberment report. I'm at Fushima, signing off. Gomez fucking dies! You think that trick will work? I'll host a mixer next time. I know for sure that Mel would never ever think of cheating, but I'm well aware that her libido could easily get in the way of her studies. That might mean her recommendation could go to waste. She's so close to realizing her dream. Imagine what she could have accomplished if she didn't get hooked on sex with me. I feel guilty for having let myself get in the way of that. How do I make up for this? Well, I'm coming in. I open the door to her bedroom. Thoughts still turning over in my head. I have a very bad feeling about this, so... Apparently not. There she is on her chair. Rather, she's standing on it, reaching for the clock on her wall. What are you doing? She's adjusting the clock so the ban on sex is lifted earlier.
いや、あとちょっとで約束の1週間でエッチ解禁だなと思ったらですね、1時間くらい時計進めてもバレないんじゃねっていういたずら心がですね。
Won't notice, will I?
無理だよね。さすがにバレるよね。てか、携帯とか確認すれば一発だもんね。
Wait for my girlfriend to drop the act.
すいません。反省してます。
She sits on her bed and bows an apology. That was a quick change of attitude. The sun switched to honesty is refreshingly cute, though. I'm not mad. Stop doing that. Just for a second, the word dummy flashed through my mind. Why, she really does love sex, doesn't she? I understand why Didi and you were talking about us that way. But hey, sticking to the original reason we did this, the drug should have worn off by now, right? At least I'd assume so. Point is, when we do it tonight, it'll have nothing to do with the drugs this time. I've asked her this before, but the question bears repeating.
いやー、やっぱりただのすごいスケベってことですかね。これは参った。ごめんなさい。なんか、いろいろと。
I know it. And for the second time in less than 2 minutes, she bows to me again. She's unnaturally quick to admit her faults. So that settles it. The abstinent challenge had no meaning. So what was the point of pushing ourselves and failing to try it? Make no mistake, I'm overjoyed to know that there was never really never anything wrong with Mel's body. In part because in reality we didn't actually limit our sexy times all that much. If anything, the brief dry period only added spice to the times we broke our fast, so to speak. But overall, it didn't seem to matter. I call that a good ending, I guess. Speaking seriously for a moment, you knew you were prone to making mistakes like this, weren't you? Like, maybe you realized that loving sex more and more was just a natural side effect of living?
それが、だって、レンがすごく一生懸命に私のことを求めてくれるから、あんなに好きな人を感じられる幸せを知ったら、エッチがすごく好きになっちゃうの。おかしいことかな。好きな人に染められて愛されてるって、それってすっごく幸せを感じるよね。心も体も幸せが溢れそうで、おかしくなりそうなくらい幸せで、それで幸せになりすぎちゃって頭から離れないのって、おかしいのかな。
She feels with her fingers nervously. She looks up at me, cheeks flushed bright pink. Dummy, of course there isn't. I feel the same, I can't possibly fault you for that. So don't make that ashamed face at me. Press my palms against her cheeks playfully.
ポンコツ魔女っ子でごめんなさい。私のご神で迷惑かけちゃってごめんなさい。
There, there. You know I'm not mad at you. Calm down. I gently pet her on the top of the head. In terms of the health of our relationship, her misdiagnosis was actually beneficial. If only because we found out that we can't keep our hands off of each other in the end. Suppose you could call it lucky that it ended this way, I guess. Point is, all ended well. And I know. And yes, I know I'm letting the results affect my opinion of the process. Well, now that the source of worry is gone, so that's good.
心配
You know, I heard a lot of things from Lydia and you and the others.
欲求不満の私と離れたら、私が浮気でもするとか
Good guess, yes, something like that.
ないない。そんなのあるわけないでしょ。私はレンに抱かれるのが好きなだけで、誰でもいいなんてことあるわけないよ。そんなこと心配してくれてたんだ。かわいい。独占欲。お姉さんがムギューってしてあげよう。ムギュー。
As she says, Mel gives me a grand squeeze. Burning my face on her breasts is quite nice.
レン以外の人とそんなことするわけないでしょ。そんな心配してくれて嬉しいけどさ、私が触れられただけで濡れちゃうのはレンだけだから誓ったでしょ。だから心配しないで。
Mel states it plainly and punctuates it with a peck on my lips. Then she smiles so warmly I might melt. Our girlfriend is the cutest person in the whole world. Nobody can match her. And this reassurance from her is enough to blow away all the nagging doubt I might have had. Feel my cheeks grow hot.
ありがとう。でもね、女が可愛くなれるのは好きな人がたくさん愛してくれるから。
Where'd you learn a knockout line like that? It would be nice if the line was actually finished.
だからレンが教えてくれたって言ってるでしょ。
With a little grin, she pulls me in tighter. She bends her neck forward to whisper in my ear.
ねえ、時計見て。
Yeah?
1週間前と同じ時間だよ。
I wrap my own arms around Mel and place my hands on her back in acknowledgement. I mirror her tight in embrace. I feel her slender fingers pressing into my back. A hint of heat, of invitation floats in her voice.
もう体の心配いらないし、確かめてくれる？私はレンのことだけ愛してるってこと。もう前儀なんていらないから、めちゃくちゃにして。
Still not the animated sex scene. Huh. Oh well, see you afterwards. Did I just accidentally see Kyle? That was not the intention. Whips. So, this is still technically sexy, but I decided to have a little read after in the sex scene where I thought it still wasn't the animated scene. She suddenly had a pill on her tongue. So I decided to read. So basically she took a pill that with her wording, sent her ovaries into overdrive. So yeah. After which, I decided to take a bit of a read. She basically taunted and teased then about how the moment he comes inside, she's gonna be fucking pregnant. And he, of course, wanted to hold back, but couldn't. And that flipped the switch, and this is the ending result. She looks... Jesus Christ! Like, fuck! He also pulled out the mandrake drug again. Like she apparently upon seeing the drug, just like had a expression of actual pure terror on her face. Like, what the fuck, Ren? Are you actually fucking crazy? I think he is, actually. So let me actually get to the end of the scene. I just felt the need to say that real quick. Jesus fuck. So the sex scene is over now, and apparently she's, like, confessing to something? Judging from the... Wait, really? So I'm going to assume that the pill didn't actually cause her to ovaries to go into overdrive, so she's not pregnant, probably. Actually, after all that, she's probably pregnant. Wait, really?
ごめんなさい。本当に。さすがにこれから進学なのに、お腹大きくなっちゃったら、良くないでしょ？せっかくのエッチ解禁日だから、めちゃくちゃに犯してもらいたくて。
That's probably just a fucking vitamin supplement.
レンもいっぱい興奮してくれるかなって思って。
The ovulation inducer bit was all fake. The pill was in fact just a multivitamin. I thought you were being serious there. The strength leaves my muscles and I collapse onto the pillows.
ごめんなさい。あんなに愛してもらえちゃうなんて思ってなくて。いや、でも、レンの赤ちゃんが欲しいのは本当だよ。死ぬほど愛してるっていうのも本当だし、ただ、ちょっと自分でも予想以上に酔っちゃったっていうか、レンが可愛すぎて、本当にそんな気になっちゃったっていうか、本当にごめんなさい。
Mel looks down in shame, but I put one arm around her neck and pull her close. Not mad at you, don't be so down. And, well, I might have been in shock at first, but I went ahead and came inside you when I was sure you'd get pregnant. You got me that excited, you know. And then you went and said that you want to have my baby for real. You have no idea how happy that makes me. And besides, Mel, felt like I needed to show you just how committed I was to that result somehow.
それはおかしくなっちゃいそうなくらい伝わった。レンに腹めって中出しされるの、めちゃくちゃ興奮しちゃったもん。
She smiles shyly at me, and she gently pats her semen-filled belly. Hearing her say that so frankly makes me want to look away in embarrassment too. Teasing Mel and delaying her orgasms is becoming something of a habit. I can't get enough of her in that state.
でもね、途中で言ったことは本当だよ。
Which was?
レンと離れることが不安だったってこと。気にしないようにしてたけど、ずっとすっごく不安だったって自分で気づいたんだ。
That's probably what caused the whole hypersexual state
大
she
学の
was in.
推薦枠がもらえてすごい嬉しかったし、レンもすっごく喜んでくれたけど。
Like the thought that they were gonna be apart was probably what caused the hyper focus on sex in the first place.
レンと離れなくちゃいけないって思ったら、行きたくないって思っちゃうこともあったくらいで。
Oh.
レンは私にとって全てだから。夢も愛もどっちもレンがくれたもので、レンがいなくちゃ意味がないことで、だからレンのことがすっごく大事すぎて、それで。
So was that anxiety that made you crave my touch, isn't it? Isn't that it? Is that it? Talking is hard.
今考えてみればそうだったんだなって。
Mel's hand grips the sheets in anguish. I reach forward and lay my own hand on top. Wrapping my fingers around her, I give a gentle squeeze.
レン。
You're too straightforward to think of letting someone share your burdens, Mel. Having said that, I wish you had been forthcoming with me about what was bothering
で
you.
も好きすぎて離れたくないなんて言っても、レンのこと困らせちゃうだけだし、私を応援してくれるレンだって嬉しく思ってるのは本当だし。
Mel, raise my other hand and place a finger over her lips. With the same hand, I then stroke her cheek. I inject all the sincerity I have into my demeanor. Mel and I gaze deeply into each other's eyes. Do you not remember me saying I'd be there to support you through anything? Did I not swear that I'd always be with you, one way or another?
レン。
If you ever find yourself feeling lonely, you could call me, text me, I could even go visit you. I'd do whatever it takes to protect you from that feeling. If you ever find yourself doubting my love, I'll go to the edge of the world and back to prove that it's real. You said you'd stay by my side until your last breath. And if you say your dreams are worth nothing if I'm not a part of them, then I'll do everything I can to be a part of making them come true. I'll figure out how. I mean, that'd be starting from scratch, but I'll do it.
レンは年下の男の子なのに、かっこいいね。不安に思ってたことがバカみたい。
And then she does the usual gesture. Her eyes narrow in bliss. She reaches up to my hand, still on her cheek, and takes it into her
レル
own.
は一生、レンのそばにいるって誓うよ。レンにこうやって、いっぱい愛してもらいながら、死ぬまでずっと、一緒に幸せでいるって誓うから。レンと二人なら、きっと大丈夫。私も根拠はないけど。
A short laugh trickles from her throat. Her other hand extends to my cheek. Not anxious about college anymore?
疑わない。信じる信じないとかじゃなくて。もう疑わないよ。離れてても大丈夫。寂しくなったら寂しいって言うし、会いたくなったらどうにかして会いに来る。夢も愛も、どっちも叶えるんだ。レンと一緒に。
Mel and I share a wide grin, and then nod in agreement. It's not just about trust, it's about depending on each other. Together we can work it out. And so, I guess I'll have to work to prepare myself too. And when the time comes that your career is in full swing, then for real, we can live and work together.
結婚しよう。約束。
Mel and I link both hands together. Fingers intertwined, we trade intimate squeezes. Our faces inch closer. Just before our lips meet, I whisper. I swear it, Mel.
私も。
No need for a ceremony for this vow. This vow, unbreakable, which we now seal with a kiss. That's the ending. Shut. I can keep this up for now. Or not. Here's the thing, there's a chance that the main menu will now have something I need to censor once we get back, because of the fucking laying in bed CG.
いい感じっぽいかな。見て見てレン。
Yes! Yes!
ようやくこれで審査を受けられる段階になったよ。長かった。ここに来るまで長かったな。
It's MILF Miyabi! Mel holds up a small bottle containing several years of hope and hard work. She eyes it almost lovingly. She shakes it in a tone that belies the long years and months it took to get to this point. It's been a long road getting here. Felt like the day your dream would come true might never come. It's good that your parents offered to support us, though.
新薬の申請ってめちゃくちゃお金かかるから、失敗したら本当にシャレにならないんだけどね。こんなポンコツ娘に家の威信と財産をかけるなんて。思ってたよりも親バカだったんだね。うちのパパもママも。
Mel half closes her eyes and smirks. After several years, we've come to realize something. It was her parents' love for her that led them to send her to the Ditz dorm. They did it because they care more than they might like to admit. Certainly, they cared enough to make sure Mel would grow up to be a serious, proactive woman. Hold on. I'm sure seeing you try so hard to succeed is what convinced them. They gave you the support of the whole household because they knew you'd make good use of it. And I know more than anyone the sheer amount of effort you devoted to making this work.
ありがとう。全部レンのおかげだけどね。レンがいてくれなかったら、この道に進むことすらできなかったから。本当に感謝してる。だから私は一生レンのそばで幸せになって恩を返すんだ。私が大学に入ってからだって、メールに電話に会いに来てくれたり、大概甘やかしてくれたけどさ。 まさか1年後には大学の後輩になっちゃうなんて思わなかったし。
Oh, wait, hold on. Wasn't that... Didn't you say that was an all-women's school?
レンの甘やかしも筋金入りだね。
I get crazily lonely when we have to be apart. How can you blame me? It's true, man. I are both living in the demon world now. She and I occupy the same lab, with the same wearing the same white lab coats, doing the same job even. Naturally, we also live
覚
together.
えてる？ずいぶん前に約束したこと。私が立派な薬剤師になって、世の中のための新薬を開発するために、愛する人と一緒になって、子供を授かって、大事な家族を築くっていうことまで、全部教えてねって。本当にその通りになったね。
That's a wonderful memory. At the conversation almost right after we started dating. Was immediately following my first drug-induced sex experience. In particular, what we spoke of in the bath. I remember it perfectly. My cheeks grow warm as I fondly recall it.
二人で夢を叶えようって言ってくれたことも、全部叶えてくれちゃうなんて。本当にレンは最高の恋人だね。そんな人に愛されてる私は、本当に幸せ者だ。
Probably about as happy as I am that you love me, right? Mel and I never forget how grateful we are to have each other any day of the week. Like, I was not expecting MILF Miyabi, but by fucking God, praise the Lord for it. And that's the fucking atheist saying this. By God. Yes! Well, how grateful we are that each other simply exists. We furtively lean in over the counter and exchange a kiss. So, let me guess, you have a version of this specifically made for yourself, don't you?
うん。それもちゃんと作ってあるよ。濃度そのままのやつ。
Her face flushes pink. Her legs rub against each other with ill-disguised anticipation. There are some things about Mel that will never change. Admit is kind of abusing her position. But with how convenient it is for giving her lots of love and attention, I'm in no position to complain. We do tend to come into work terribly sleep-deprived thanks to that, though. But perfectly refreshed in other ways, so to speak. So, as an early celebration tonight, I'm gonna shower you with love so much you're gonna think you're dying.
そんなこと耳元で言っちゃダメ。そんなこと言われたら、立っていられなくなっちゃう。
Ever the masochist Mel is. In fact, with the way we've been making love over the last few years, I think she's reached a level previously unknown to mankind. But I'm quite happy with that. We're both a good fit for that kind of relationship. I can say with confidence that there's a guarantee to continue working out just fine.
楽しみにしてるから、今晩もメルのこと、しっかりと愛してね。
Oh, it won't be just tonight now that we finally made that dream come true.
約束。ずーっと覚えてる。ふつつか者だけど、一生幸せにしてね。
I guarantee that. Let's live our lives in happiness together. We're gonna make sure that in the decades to come, this joy of being together will never ever fade. Gotta put this up now.
僕と恋する
It's actually safe! It's actually safe! It's actually safe!
すっごいエッチ。
The bed CG isn't here. It does have MILF Miyabi though! Perfectly in the fucking heart shape! Nice! Yes! You can see that I'm very excited about that.
ギャラリーが見たいの？
Oh, I forget I can't show the gallery. Hold on. Oh, the Miyabi? I can like at least read out all the things. Witch's Threshold. Anything before a blowjob still isn't sex, so it's totally safe. Basket Witch, I'm not just good at sex, but anything physical, you know. Vagina Grinding Sorcery. Okay. Wizard in Bed, assaulting me while I'm asleep. Remember this whenever I go to bed. Oh boy. Devilish Joke, fail. I just thought it spiced things up a bit. The Unfit Witch. I didn't even know I still had some of that drug left. Melon Your Dream. I was only able to get this far because you were here. The Usual Pillow Witch. I'm very happy that you always do this for me. Shigeroomba. Shigeru is a new kind of creature that won't die even after being chopped up, right? And all the transition screens.
シーン階層だよ。
Scenes also have descriptions. The Witch's Verbal Assault, releasing duty. The Greedy Witch, thought it was the drug's fault, but sorry, I'm a perfect girlfriend. Sleep, sex, sorcery, not just once but thrice, you Sir Randy. Top drug, bottom drug. What? Resolve kind of made my heart skip a beat. So happy. Bewitching Health, a wholesome sports state is fun and refreshing. It was not wholesome in the end. Which is happiness, just stay like this forever. Miyabi's delivery service, I'll deliver it to the world beloved that you showed me. She dead Roomba, cleaning robots have no mercy, better be careful.
ムービー鑑賞です。
Ban lifting commemorative sex. Well, you went to all the effort to prepare all that, how cute. Music. It's nothing special. I mean, this demon is in love with you is very special. It's a very nice soundtrack.
おまけ。
I will never stop that. VA comment! There's a VA comment! There's a comment from Aoi Miyabi's voice actress, Tezuka Ryoka. Like, everyone seemingly has like a VA comment.
皆様こんにちは、こんばんは、おはようございまする。はい。青い雅役の手塚涼子です。
I can't hear this, understand this anyways. I'll just have it going in the background.
すっごいエ
So I'm
ッチ
just like...
いかがでしたでしょうかね。すっごいエッチだったでしょう。そうでしょう。
Put this up and I only
いや
have
ね
to move
青
it
い
over.
パイセンはですね、まあ、前作の恋熊の時に
At the time, Miyabi's character design had long side bangs. Personally, I thought that her going into lustful heat would have a very girlfriend-like feel, so I drew her with that in mind. Just as her name suggests, Mel is an M, a masochist. I enjoyed drawing her love-filled S&M scenes. I drew it thinking that she was pretty witch-like for being on medicine that stimulated ovulation.
というわけで、さらにパワーアップして帰ってきた恋熊を使って何回でも何十回何百
I
回
honestly really wish I could understand these
をしてい
VA
ただければと思います。以上、手塚涼子でした。バイバーイ。
That bye-bye was adorable. Like, I really
お
want...
疲れ様でした。
You keep going?
はい、出た。出た。短くないですよ。コメント短く。ねえ、好きって気持ちだけじゃダメ？いや、いや、あれですよ。告白とかね。
I can't show the bottom two. I can't show the bottom two.
長けりゃいいってもんじゃないじゃないですか。成功しますかそんな。違いますよね。いや、私はね、そういう。
I don't think I can show any of those,
大
so
事な
I'm
のは
just...
気持ちいいってことを言って。はい。すいませんでした。調子に乗りました。はい。
The only one I should be able to show is the one in the bottom right corner, which is just MILF
カンペを用意して
Miyabi.
くれたので、そのカンペをね、元にね、答えていっちゃおうかな。もう今回だけだぞ。特別だぞ、もう。はい、最初がエロシーン多すぎて、辛いですよね。
She is very talkative, that VA. I would honestly God adore to actually understand what the fuck she's saying, but I do not speak Japanese. Anyway, so yeah, that's Miyabi's after route. MILF Miyabi! Yes! I'll see you tomorrow for Use Route. Bye-bye!